So they took the gun, they pointed in my head, like, okay, so you are risking your life now, so you are, now you're gonna die because of this.
Kia ora, this is Voices and I'm Kadambari Raghukumar.
You have to move, because if we see you again, we're gonna kill you.
I'm in Wellington a few hours after the city went into COVID-19 Alert Level 2. I was meant to be at an event marking World Refugee Day, but that's been cancelled. The city seems really quiet and I'm in an echoey hotel lobby instead. Several visitors, including myself, are trying to make last-minute changes to our schedules. It's a minor inconvenience compared to the massive journey that Jose, who sat across the table from me, has finally finished 2 weeks ago.
My full name is Jose Emiro Tombe Reyes. My short name, I like Jose Tombe. I'm from Colombia.
Jose arrived in January 2020 and applied for asylum in New Zealand after arriving on a valid visa. He's taking time off work this morning to talk to me. Jose works at the Department of Conservation in Wellington and his background is social work.
In my country, I was working with young people over there in vulnerable areas in Colombia. I was helping them learning English, but also teaching them about business modeling. So try to get them into education and try to show them like a true education. It was another path in life, because these guys were like in very vulnerable areas in Colombia where there's a lot of conflicts, a lot of drugs, a lot of groups that they are trying to hide them to persuade them to get into war.
So which part of Colombia was this in?
That was in Cali.
In Cali,
yeah,
okay.
In Cali, and we have this big series in Cali, and sometimes when we hear something about Colombia, we think that the conflict is just in the jungle, and maybe the picture that normally the people has about Colombia is the conflicts in the jungle, but unfortunately for our country, the drug business is like a huge chain, and it's like a company. It's like a production company. So the production is in the jungle where they produce the cocaine and everything, but after that is a huge chain, to get it into the international market. So it's a chain in the big cities, in the towns, middle towns. Jungle is around the whole country. They need people to fight in the jungle to protect the production, let's say that way. The easy target for them is the people that doesn't have too much opportunities, don't have too much education. So for them it's very easy, you need money, I can pay you $100, $200 per month, came with us, and I give you a gun. The only thing you have to do is fight with me in our group. And so I was working as a social worker in Colombia, working with these vulnerable youth. And that was the problem. So the groups, these illegal groups, target me. I was in my home. I was in my walking my dog. They knew everything about me. I don't know how, but they knew everything about me. So
how do you mean, for example?
They approached me. So two guys approached me in a motorbike, and they say, "Hey, Jose, we know that you work in this area of the city. We know that you are a leader over there, a social worker, and you are in touch. You are in contact with too many youth, and we are interested in that. So we want you to help us to recruit the people you are involved with. We want you to help us, to reach to these guys that you are already have this bonding and this connection." So it was very difficult for me, because it's obviously I've been involved in this not involved, but I know about the social situation in my country. So it's very difficult for me, very nervous. I knew I have to say, for my belief, I will say no, but then the second thought is like, what? We're gonna be in trouble. I say no to this guy. We're two guys. I say no. I don't want to do that. My job is completely the opposite. I'm trying to get these guys away from this. So they took the gun, they pointed in my head, like, okay, so you are risking your life now, so you are, now you're gonna die because of this. We don't want to see you anymore working in this area, no anymore. We don't want to see you. They identify themselves as a ELN, which is one of the groups in Colombia. So, yeah, they say your work life and whatever you were involved with the communities is end right now. Okay, you have to move because if we see you again, we're gonna kill you. So that was so hard for me. So I have to start to get into the whatever I could. So I start to hide in my own country. I start to move. Obviously, I get to all the authorities in Colombia. They give me some kind of protection, and they give me some suggestion to be moving in places.
So where did you go? You went from Cali to where?
Yeah, I just stay in different places of the states. I even get a small trip abroad to Puerto Rico, for be away 2 weeks and then get back, try to be moving. And that was almost for 3 months, 4 months, and I say, no, I can't live like this. I'm gonna move from Colombia because I'm be working in social projects and I like to be in that part. I like to be a leader and I want to improve things, to be connected with the community, the engagement, make projects. I love that. So that's part of my passion. So I say, unfortunately, it's not going to be in my country. It's not going to be in my country.
So you arrived on a flight from Colombia straight to Auckland?
Yeah, straight to Auckland. When you came as a refugee, that country already say yes to you and they bring you everything. I mean, you got your papers, everything. It's like a kind of a system already in place. My journey begins as an asylum seeker here in January 2020. I started to lodge the document as an asylum seeker.
You applied for asylum, and how long did you wait?
Yeah. So that started in January 2020, let's say February, 5th of February. Then I applied. I received the confirmation of the application, which doesn't mean anything. It just we receive it. Then I wait 1 year and 5 months holding. 1 year, 5 months holding without any response. So the next thing I have was in February of this year, 2020. Yeah, almost a year. Yeah, almost a year. I had the first contact with immigration and was there hearing with the immigration officer. There was an interview the whole day, a 9 hours interview. You can imagine how horrible is that, because it's your emotions and everything. And I just have the confirmation last week, 2 weeks ago, and I got the approval. So I got now what I have is the status approved as a refugee.
Do you feel this is home?
Yes, a little bit. I think since the last 2 weeks after the approval, now I get more percentage of belonging, because getting that approval is okay, because you don't have that when you are in the pending as an asylum. You don't have that belonging. You are what? Where am I? Who am I? Because I can be kicked out of this country in any moment. So you are holding, so you don't have belonging. So I'm gonna stay, I'm gonna go, what happened? I'm gonna be killing my country if I go by. It's awful. But then 2 weeks wow, it's a relief. Now I can say I belong here. Especially in Colombia, we have a huge problem right now that the profile the social workers, they've been killed in Colombia since 3 years ago. Let's say the data of the social workers killed is being just high and high and high, and the government hasn't been able to protect the social workers in Colombia. So it's a high risk now in Colombia to be a social worker. I don't think I will be back to Colombia, but what I will try to do now is start to work with the communities over here, try to help from here. So that's what is my planning now.
And that's Jose Tombe's journey from arriving in New Zealand as an asylum seeker to finally being accepted as a refugee as of 2 weeks ago. This is Voices, produced by me, Kadambari Raghukumar. You can follow our podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, and other podcast platforms. We're also on Instagram and Facebook as RNZ_voices. Head over there and follow us for weekly photos and videos on these stories. And yes, you can also read and listen to Voices stories on the RNZ website. The audio engineer for this episode was Yana Tenahu Owen, and I'm Kadambri Raghukumar. Thank you for listening.
Acast powers some of the world's best podcasts. Here's a show we recommend.
The Unmistakable Creative gives you timeless practical wisdom for living a meaningful life. Listen to deep, meaningful conversations with creatives, misfits, rebels, and changemakers.
At their core, people don't believe that they're good enough. So they get into this whole fake it till you make it paradigm in order to gain the credibility that is going to lead to the attention that's going to lead to their success.
Subscribe to The Unmistakable Creative wherever you get your podcasts.
Acast recommends.